So, yeah, there was that. So, what do you think of the lapel mics that you got that you sent back? What do you think about those?
I don't know. It's pretty interesting. They have like 3 different brand names with them. Some call them Dasny, some call them Pixel, some call them Photo Welts, Comicas. It was interesting to see that they're all the same proprietary mic, but apparently I bought a set that was either beat to death and then sent back and then sent to me, or I got a set that just really wasn't up to the task of what all they claimed to be, let alone they claimed they were a metal housing, which I thought was good for being durable, but they turned up being plastic, and we tried them out, and that didn't go so well. So guess what? They're on their way back now, and the new set is on their way here. So we'll see how those turn out.
Oh man. Yeah, I got some lapel mics coming too, but the quality was not good at all. The quality was terrible. It was very tinny. And it was nice to be able to wear lapel mics, have a lot more freedom and like talk and have no conflict between you and I. But then it also sounded like we were in a coffee can, and that was not cool. So welcome back. This is your man Warrior, and we had a bit of some technical difficulties over the last couple of days. Not just the lapel mics, but I came into this room and found my equipment a bit disheveled. Some stuff broken. I'm not too sure if my Rode mic has made it or not. We'll figure that out once we try and use it. I had to bend metal back in place, and I heard crunching when I was doing it. Yeah, I heard crunching when I was doing it, so I'm not sure if it will work or not. It was all dangling from the tripod, and the tripod was destroyed. So anyway, it is what it is. We get over those kinds of things pretty quick in this house. We just forgive and move on. And so I was frustrated in the moment, but we're better than that. We're going to move forward. Have definitely had a talk about no horseplay in the Studio A. By the way, this is a true studio. People wonder why, why'd I have this? This isn't green screen. This is not green screen. This is where you go to watch American Idol. And they don't want me on stage because I'm not that famous yet. They said, no, Warrior, no. They said, sit, good dog. And I said, but could I be outside the door of American Idol? And they said, yeah, you can do that. So, yeah.
For the low price of $10,000, we get to rent the back lot space. It's not the actual lot or studio; it's just the back door to the studio.
It's the alleyway, and honestly, if as long as they don't see us, we're fine. Yeah.
Out of sight, out of mind.
Yeah, exactly. So we're good there. Everyone's saying what's up, what's up. The Zone says first time catching us. He's from Belgium. What is going on? Good morning, everybody. Barrett says, what the heck? Another dog break into your house? Oh man, yeah. No. So
there's no blood on the wall.
So actually, really quick, this won't count as story time, but just so people kind of have an idea. We did, my wife and I did foster care for years. We had over 15 kids. I think that's come out in a story time previous. So people understand that, we've done foster care, and 2 of the children that we did foster care with at the time were 1 and 7, and we had them for years. We actually tried to adopt them. That didn't end up working out because parents kind of decided to change their mind and kind of get things going right. So we kind of converted from foster parents to aunt and uncle, and we've been in their life for a really long time ever since. It's been almost 10 years now. And the good kids, 11 and 17 now. Unfortunately, there's been a turn for the worse at the house, and they needed a place to crash, and so for an indefinite period of time. So anyway, my wife and I got the custody of the 2 children, actually voluntarily from the parents. They signed over custody for now, so they can kind of get things where they need to be. And I'm super happy for them to at least come to that consensus prior to like a law enforcement, intervention kind of thing. So the kids moved back in. The 17-year-old, she's super independent, since she's super nice, and she's working out great. The 11-year-old, he's a super awesome kid. I love him to death. He's like a son to me, but he was just kind of horse playing, and he accidentally did some stuff. So he's not real used to being around a bunch of equipment, and it was definitely an accident. So not the end of the world. So not a huge deal. Really quick, I got a couple of questions, and then I'm going to go into kind of where my roster's at. Warrior question. This is JG. It says, what are your thoughts on the Relic system coming soon? Gear 2.0. Warrior question, have you got the Negotiator yet? Painfully, no, I'm 5 shards shy. I'm 600 currency shy, and that's my fault. I spent about 600 to 1,000 currency apparently on something that I was impatient with, and apparently that was just enough currency to keep me from getting it unlocked this last time. And everybody else in Team Instinct has it unlocked, so it feels bad, man. Feels bad. Jeremy says, what's up, brother, to you. Good morning, Dexatronic. What's happening, brother? And then Hellweger Gid says, Warrior and Sure. Just wanted to say I appreciate you guys and how you're keeping it real and the good work to my dudes. And then howdy from Dallas from Adam. All right, enough of the questions and the hellos. Let's get right into it. First things first, look at my crystals. 1, 2, 3, 4. Couldn't have planned that out any better. That's pretty funny. I've got my Grand Arena.
Great for me because I like to count on my fingers.
You like to count on your fingers?
Yes, I like to do that. It just helps me out because my brain doesn't like to work appropriately when I decide to count. So that's nice. I like your crystal amount there.
Yeah. Now what's actually really cool is I'm doing very well in the championships. I'm almost already at whatever Chromium I think is the next one. Yeah, Chromium. And I am in the 1.6 to 1.99 million GP, and I just hit 2 million GP today. We'll talk about that in a minute. Opening things I shouldn't open. Like, people wonder how my GP is so large. Part of that's just because I can't help myself, and I should not be doing it, but I just can't help myself. But we're almost to Chromium, so I think we're doing pretty good. I won all my battles, got all my bonus 1,000 points and everything. The only place I could be doing better is feats, just finishing them. It's difficult to try and do every feat, but that's where I will do that. I'm not going to go in and show my defense because I do have a lot of really great people. What I'm noticing is once you hit that 1.6 on, everyone has Revan. Yeah. or many of them have Revan. So the first individual I have to go against, I don't believe has Darth Revan, and I'm really happy about that. But he's pretty solid. He's kind of like me. He's got a lot more gear 12 than me. I've got 6 gear 12. He has about double that. And he's got Empire. He's got Rebels. So First Order. He's got quite a few good teams. This will be an interesting match. Pretty excited about that. Similar GP. By the way, Darth Mar, one of my patrons, did another donation. Thank you very much. He says, hi, boys. Can you shout out a mate, Stubby? I think it's either Stube or Stubby. Or Stub, but Stub. I don't know. I know that he's watching. Thanks.
I'll shout out all.
Man, I need to know the inflection, Darth Mar. Is it Stub, Stub, Stubby, Stubby? Whatever it is, what's up, brother? How are you doing? They want to know, Frank wants to know how the Darth Revan farm is going, and I will miss him this second time around. And then my only hope is that on the third time around, they put Malik after, not before, which they'll probably do before. Because I'm hoping that the next time around I can get both him and Malik in 3 months. It's a tough ask for myself, but that's what we're going to shoot for, right? We don't shoot for the trees so we can hit the mud. We shoot for the stars so we can hit the trees. So you got to kind of shoot high. Yeah. All right, so let's go in. This is my favorites. I've got a few too many in here, but Geonosian, Brood Alpha, trying to just finish him off. When I say finish him off, I mean get him to 7 stars. That will be good enough. Eventually, I'll get those other 2 pieces of gear put in, but not at this point. Mission is in here, and Zalbar is in here because I'm going to leave them in here until they're gear 12, and that's going to take a long time because I'm not giving them priority on gear. If there's a piece of gear that no one else in favorites needs, then they'll get it. There's one on mission right now I need for someone else, which is why she's not getting it. And it's tough because there's just so much of this that is needed by the team. But they need to be gear 12 ultimately, really, for Malik and just for defense on Grand Arena. And so they're in there for that. Poggle and Droidica are in here because of the ships, because bottom line MILF is going to come back around. And I have a 6-star MILF that I barely made the last time to get 6-star. And when it comes back around, I really want to get that 7th star. So I've been trying to use excess energy at the end of the day on Poggle and Droidica. I will have to say, though, that the ship just does not drop. It's really, really difficult to get them. I think in the last month or so I've gotten 30 shards maybe. Like, it's terrible. It's really, really, really terrible. Of course, I have my Ewoks in here because I've been really developing them, really trying to get them to 7-star gear 9 was the staging point, and then a Zeta. I did accidentally spend my Zeta I was saving for Chief Chirpa. I accidentally put it on Brood Alpha because I get a bit excited. I'm like, what? And then I threw it on his leader. But now my Geos do more damage. You should see them in Grand Arena. They take out basically anything I go against. They even take out Revan teams because a lot of times they peel away a character or two from Revan and leave him, with a couple subpar characters. And I chew through everything with this. They are literally my best offensive team that I have at this point, which is nuts that they are that. But anyway. Yeah. So anyway, the Geo Brood Alpha is great, but the Chief Chirpa Zeta, I kind of regret not putting it on there because I was going to try and get C-3PO. Not sure that's going to happen now. 5 stars C-3PO unlock is still very difficult. With the Zeta works really well. I don't have mods on these bad boys yet. I got to throw mods on them, but I'm trying to kind of wait before I go throwing mods on, these Old Republic and these Ewoks. I threw a few on Wicket just to see what I had available, and it was trash, so I'll just have to borrow, I think, from other characters when I do the event. But I'm 60 at Wicket, so I need 40 more. I think I can get possibly 20 more in the event tomorrow, because there's an event tomorrow that gives Wicket shards, and I think you can do that first round twice, right? Or maybe is it just once? I don't know. Honestly, I don't remember if it's once or twice. I think it's just maybe 10. I don't know. Anyway, I have to keep farming this as much as I can. So I'm still working on Basti. Basti has been surprisingly an easier farm than a lot of others. It's been very nice. From 8 to 9 wasn't bad, 9 to 10 wasn't bad, and then 10 I got quite a few full pieces dropped. If you follow me on Twitter, you see a lot of my gear drops, which is I've been very blessed with good RNG. I know, right? With good RNG. And then my Old Republic looks pretty pathetic, but I'm having to take my time and slowly develop these guys out. You can see the Ewoks, I've got them to level 75 and above, and then the rest are level 55 and above. So, it's just the credits. We haven't had a credit heist, and we're going on almost 4 weeks now, and they said they do it every 7 to 10 days. So it's supposed to be every week. Every week and a half, basically every 10 days, so 3 times a month, and we've gone an entire month and haven't had any. So they owe us 3 when they do it. They owe us 3, and they're going to give us 1. That's a real shame, and I'm sorry to see that they broke their cadence when they promised that cadence years ago and said it would happen, and they stayed true to their cadence 100%. Stayed true to that cadence until now. Really sad to see that they're so distracted that they broke a cadence incidentally. And it really hurts on free-to-play because all these characters would probably be level 85 if I actually got the credits I needed to do that. So yeah.
I will say though, looking at your Ewoks, so I don't think that you have a single problem to get 5-star. I remember my Ewoks were sitting around same gear level and 4 and 5-star or whatever, and then I think they weren't even at 85 yet too. So you should be all right for that. The Zeta hurts a little bit. I think I may have had that for the 5-star unlock, but not sure.
Bricko's asking what my first Gear 13 will be, and that's going to be Revan, hopefully, because Revan, he doesn't gain a ton of benefit off of Gear 13, but hopefully it will make me fit in Arena. I'll look like the cool kids. That's about it. And then someone asked, have I unlocked the Negotiator on my main? No, I'm 5 shy because I spent some of that currency on other things. The Zone says, shout out to the Sarlacc Pit Survivors. Thanks for the donation, brother. And shout out to Sarlacc Pit Survivors. Also, how many times have you been tempted to whale out on this account? Not much. In fact, this has helped me with my main account actually spend less on my main account because I don't have to worry about it. I can just kind of ride it out.
Somewhere else.
Yeah, I will tell you the only temptation that has come on this account at all is actually Revan this time around because I missed him already and now he's coming back but it wouldn't matter because I need like 140 shards for every character. It's like 600 shards. 600 shards, even if I whaled out, it would drop it down to like 500 or 400. That's still like 400 shards. It's not doable. So no big deal. We'll work through it. Frank says you need to teach us the ways of RNG. Jesus, it's been horrible rewards. My brother from the same mother, Andrew, says, "What's up, morning boys? What's happening to you guys?" Okay, let's get back into it. So a couple of factions that I'm kind of not developing, but I will develop is First Order. I really want to get these. I want to get 2 characters in Cantina finished, which they're close, and then I'm going to bust out First Order Executioner. As soon as I have First Order Executioner to 5 stars, I will then take these guys, put them into my favorites, and just gear the heck out of them. But they're patiently waiting for me to be able to get to the Cantina node of First Order Executioner and have the resources to put into him. Right now I can't. I got too many other Cantina farms I'm working on. So there's that. And then a lot of people are wondering why I haven't done Night Sisters yet. Their only purpose is Grand Arena Championships and the Sith Raid only. Those are like the 2 most important things out there. But unfortunately, they're just a lesser priority than a lot of the other teams because they don't unlock anything legendary or anything cool like that. So I've been farming. Yeah, I've been farming them and trying to get their stars really more than anything. Early game, they gave me Spirit, Zombie, and Talia. And early game, I used them as part of my dark side team. They actually worked very well. But then, of course, I stopped in my development. I will tell you, Zombie and Spirit geared easily. This is the beginning of the game gearing that I did. I didn't really try, and Zombie went up to gear 8 real easy. So kind of funny as far as that goes. I need Mother Talzin, struggling with that. I was early on going to focus on her, but bottom line, you have too many hard node farms, and she is a lesser priority. So I will say is for all the things I know and for all the hyper focus I talk about and I tend to have, it is difficult as free to play in your focus. You know, I go into bounty hunters, I start trying to farm them all and realize you can't do that. So I learned that mistake that like, even though I was telling people to only farm 6, I was trying to farm 8. Can't do that. So you got to give it up. Yep. And then sometimes you just have to put things on the back burner like Night Sisters. I really want to develop them. I think with a Gear 11 Zombie with the rest of them at like Gear 9, it would be a phenomenal defensive team for Grand Arena. I just don't have the time for that. I will say that a lot of people see my Scissor Man account and they see it as really high GP, and it is. It's 1,100, 1.1 million. 1.1 million character, but look at that. Ships are 900,000. Almost half my GP lie in ships. And so I think that people just don't realize how much I have shoved into ships. I mean, because here I'm working. Yeah, I'm working on Galactic Republic ships already, and the Ebon Hawk I'm working on that ship, and I've got these guys, which of course everybody knows about, and I still have all these ships that are semi-developed right here. So there's a lot of development. The reason for the Galactic Republic ships, I wasn't planning on doing those, but once all of a sudden I got Padme accidentally with my Geos, I was like, well, I guess I need to start working on Galactic Republic.
Oh, look, a Padme.
Yeah. Padme, where'd you come from? And then, of course, you've got Galactic Republic leader who's bad, who's amazing. And then it's like, well, I guess you better start developing them. And when I looked in here, I had Yoda, Kenobi, R2, and that was it. And I was like, uh-oh. So I needed Ahsoka and Jedi and Anakin. The good news is those were both stupid easy farms for the most part. And both of them are easy to gear because they're old characters. Anytime there's an old character, you'll find their gearing requirements are far better.
That's why they made Padme so hard to get.
Yeah, for sure. Ethan Glenn, thank you for the donation. He says, thank you for the advice. I just need mission at 7 stars and then I'll lock Jedi Knight Revan. And I'm also at 2.4 million. I also have my first gear 13, which was CLS. That's pretty awesome. CLS. Very cool. And then let's see. Galactic Republic. Galactic Republic's looking pretty good. My 501st, not so much. I do have 5s that I could take to 7-star, which I might eventually use him in my my Galactic Republic team, but million, man. I got 93,000 credits, yo. So that ain't happening. Yeah. And yeah, let's go ahead and get my free thing. Come on, drop Barris. Barris, drop Barris. I'm waiting for that day. I did it on my main account, actually. Got a full unlock on her. I was like, good Lord, that's awesome. I have not had that luck here on this. Galactic War, I kind of wish they would go back and touch it up. I wish what they would do is build a normal mode, a hard mode, and a hardcore mode to where when you click normal, it builds it like it is now. And then when they go to hard mode, that it actually takes it to like all Gear 12 with Zetas and stuff like throughout. So it makes it a real challenge for teams where you want to see like durability. And then the hardcore mode would be where there's a bunch of like Gear 12s, some Gear 13 sprinkled in. Basically every team is a full Zeta team to see kind of how far you could go. It used to be fun. It used to be a challenge. And if you didn't have time in a day, it became a nuisance because you'd get stuck on those last few nodes. And while it was kind of fun, it was kind of frustrating. So, to be able to just restart if you didn't have time and just hit sim would be great, but it would be nice to see 3 different levels and then 3 different tiers of rewards. And hard mode, once you complete hard mode 150 times, then they could make that simmable. And then once you complete the other one 150 times, they could make that one simmable. So that way you'd have the ability to sim all of the 3. You'd even be able to manually play them. And they let us sim the easy one, and that's fine. And the rewards are kind of okay. But crank those rewards up a little bit, or make the hardcore mode never simmable. Make us earn them every single time if we want it. Otherwise, we have to sim the mediocre rewards kind of thing. So
we're going to give you 1 Gear 13 piece. You're going to have to work for it.
Right. It just needs to have that. I think it needs to have that touch up. So this one, there he is. He's in 15 hours. That's so sad. I will not make it. Indoor escalation though with the Ewoks, it starts in 2 days, 15 hours. And then Forest Moon, which is an assault battle, starts in 4 days. It's battling the Ewoks. That's Empire and Droids. I do pretty good on that one. So yeah, I'm looking forward to getting on Indoor Escalation, getting my Wicket Shards. I really hope I can, like I said, finish it off. This would be nice. Once you get a 7-star Wicket, you get to participate in the Zeta challenge, and I want that. I really do. And then here, I'm able to 3-star the first and the second. And the second one, they even say it's very difficult, and they say it's really, recommended for really, really high gear and all that. And I still beat it with just Phoenix. So Phoenix is amazing at Gear 8. Gear 8 Phoenix does the hard and very hard. Gear 8 Phoenix does not survive the bonus tier. Round 4, he just one-shots basically everybody. So what you need is Night Sisters in here. And you need, or like super high Phoenix, but let's pretend you don't have super high Phoenix. You need Night Sisters, and you actually need a Zeta on Asajj Ventress lead, because Asajj Ventress lead removes turn meter. And what you do is you rob the characters of ever taking a turn with the Asajj Ventress lead, and so you don't even get hit. You just go through the whole event and smoke it and get your rewards. So eventually, when I get my Night Sisters up, the very first Night Sister Zeta I will do will be Asajj lead, simply so I can do this event. Plus, that lead is really good for Grand Arena Championships and whatnot. So we will do that event. Actually, we're here. Why don't we do this event?
Why not?
Yeah, why not? And so this is the team. You can see they're the most powerful, but Gear 8, Gear 8, Gear 8, Gear 8, and then 11. Ezra's the only one that's bringing the heat. Yep, the rest are not. So I'm going to play a little. I'm going to let you have the mic and let you do some questions in the chitty chat. If you guys have any questions, you can hit him up while I'm hopefully not getting embarrassed on the event that I've 3-starred in the past.
Well, maybe it won't be as bad as the time that I tried to take on 2 different arena teams with my Jedi Knight Revan team and then got smoked horribly because I tried to change up my strategy and it just didn't work on camera, which normally that does. That's kind of surprising. I'll have you know, I did get the final event on this one with my Phoenix. I'm not sure where Ezra was at the time, but they're still all Gear 8, except for Ezra is Zated in Gear 12. So it makes it easier now, but back then when I actually got through, I got 1 star on it with that, and I think I actually got 3 star now because I have that. So it is possible. You just need to have one really unbalanced character on the other end there, kind of helping to weigh things out for you. And of course, RNG and all that fun stuff. But that's a pretty fun event, but it can be a little tedious, a little long. I did see there was a couple ads here. See if I can go back and try and grab some of you guys' questions. People keep on asking about the pillar system. Quixote is now that you've done your free the play account, is there anything you would change from the first couple of pillars and or remove?
Biggest thing I've said on the pillar system as far as what I would change is I have found that Jedi Training Ray, if you're looking to do, huge pushes, if you're in a guild that doesn't do Sith Raid very well or doesn't do it at all, you really should focus on the Jedi Training Ray team for Phase 1, and so I would leave it the same, and it works well. However, for someone that's PvP focused like myself, I have chosen to take First Order and push them off into the 4 or 5 pillar area and move up the Old Republic into the 2 and 3 pillar area. So they basically flopped that and made the priorities kind of flippy flop. And the pillar system was made before Malak, it was made before Darth Revan. And when Darth Revan first came out, it was like every character needed was at the very end of the, they're like in the hardest nodes to unlock. And for a new player, you can't even unlock those nodes. So that's why I did that. However, you do progress really fast in this game, and you do unlock quite a bit, and now people can borrow like a Gear 13 Grievous. So, you know what I mean? They can slaughter these end nodes if they have the right allies. So really just First Order is put off a little bit because Jedi Training Ray is less important now if you're PvP focused, and Darth Revan is a little more important now because by the time he becomes important to you, you'll be in Pillar 2 or 3. So that would probably be the one big thing. The other thing is I've got a couple of them in Pillar 1 that I used, like Talia. I used her at the beginning, never finished her because I got, sidetracked on other more important characters. You don't necessarily would have to do hers until you did the Night Sisters. She would just be a terrible farm at that point. Same thing with Kira. I still am upset my Kira's only 4 stars. Really need her 5 stars for the event that gives you mods. And I have to have 2 more characters to get to 5 stars, and I could have had her done in Pillar 1. Started her, got her to Gear 4 or Gear 8, 4 star, and then quit for other characters. And it's every time that event comes around, that smuggler event comes around, I get mad at myself for not completing that one character. So there's a few you could skip. I always say that you guys can modify these. These are general rules of thumb, and for someone who doesn't have any clue what they're doing, it gives you a nice, solid what should you do. But you should always have the freedom to make your own decisions and where you kind of want to go with it.
Yeah.
And then thoughts on relics? Do you want to talk about that?
Relics, I've not done any research on. I haven't read anything about it on the forums, so I wouldn't be the one to ask. I did happen to catch a little clip of Mobile Gamer's video where he's talking basically the same thing like you said. It's Gear 2.0, and the way that it's set up, it is looking like it's moving more towards that Gear 13, 14 possibility, or when they start moving you up into that, from 85 to 96 or whatever, like we see some of these guys in Geonosis territory battles. So I think that's a good possibility where they're going with that, just trying to call it something different so it's not just a mundane, oh, hey, look, we're just, making it go higher now. Look, the number changed, So it could be something as small as that. I don't know enough about it.
Okay, so what a relic is it's a new addition to the game where they say we're going to take one primary stat. There's 3 primary stats to every character. We're going to take one primary stat and trick it way out. So if your primary stat is, basically tactics, and that it affects physical and special damage, then we're going to trick that out, and the relic's going to make that go up, 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 and their damage, they're going to be hitting for like 300k. They'll still only have 60,000 health of protection. They'll still only be the normal whatever character, same speed, same whatever, but the relic will just make them ungodly in their particular thing. If they're primary was, defense related, and you trick that out with the relic, they're going to have like 150% armor, and you're going to do like 2k damage to them on a tank that is like already impossible to kill. So the relics are going to emphasize a specific primary stat and that's what they're designed for. So they're saying it's going to make speed less important. That's not true, though, because you're going to have to be able to, with some of these things, you're going to time out if you don't have enough time, and the only way you get more turns is speed, and speed, blah, blah, blah. So it is absolutely 100% unequivocally guaranteed, without a doubt, however way I can say it, Gear 2.0. It is very much Gear 2.0. First off, it requires gear. Okay? So gear and relics that require gear. The gear at the low levels require low-level gear, but gearing at the low level requires low-level gear. When you get to the mid-range of gear, it's like purple and hard to get gear. And in the relics, when you get in the middle, it's going to be purple and hard to get gear. So it's identical. It's literally identical. In fact, the relic system requires more gear at the low and mid levels than regular gearing does. The only benefit is they're using the gear you don't like and care about on the early levels. But in the mid levels, they start using gear you want and need. And in the high levels, they're going to use all your premium gear you want to use for regular gearing for regular characters. So you're going to actually have a decision. Do I want to waste a bunch of gear to get this character's relic up? Or do I want to use it on like 5 other characters that I actually need to get to gear 9, 10, or 11? The relic system is a waste for anyone that's not a whale right now. And it's not even accessible except for Gear 13. Oh, wow. You have to be Gear 13 on a character before you can even think about relics. Relics are completely wasted on anything under Gear 13. So you don't even have the ability. In my free-to-play account, I don't have any Gear 13. I'm a ways from Gear 13 on anybody. And so even though I've got 5 or 6 pieces, that one piece is like a million miles away, or it feels. It's Gear 2.0, and they've already said at the highest end it's going to require it. They also said it starts at level 1 and goes to, for now, level 7. Well, when the game came out, they said, oh, this game is level 1 in gear out to level 9 or 10 or whatever it was when they very first launched the game. And then they slowly started increasing it. I will bet literally $1,000 in this very moment to anybody out there in out there land that I guarantee there will be a relic level 8, level 9, level 10, level 11, level 12, all released over the next 3 years. You will see that will become a thing. And so it is actually a Gear 2.0, and it is actually worse than traditional gearing. The good news is you have to be Gear 13, and there's not a lot of people that have Gear 13, so everybody gets to ignore the relic system except for the uber pay-to-play whales, and that gives you the opportunity to just not worry about it. So you don't have to worry about it, you guys. Pretty awesome, right?
Yeah, never mind. Thanks for all those bullets for my my thought suicide there. Just had a few more to the round. All right. I can see how they're trying to do this to extend the game. They're trying to make it go longer. They're getting into its prime, and then it's going to start teetering off a little bit, maybe trying to subside that a little bit. But good grief. I mean, yeah, gear is a big enough problem for me as it is anyways. And, I mean, just for most of you guys out there, if you want my ally code, I'll give it out to you. If you want to know which character is about to become obsolete, just take one look at my favorites, and then you'll see where that's going to go, because my timing has just been impeccable on all these characters that are coming out, that came out, couldn't get them right away, had to watch them pass by a second time. By the third or fourth time when I'm actually getting them is usually when, oh, that's cool, they've been out long enough, we have a new one that's going to counter that. So yeah, nice to see you show up late to the party again.
However, perpetual optimist inside of me has to push back a little and say, at least you have Revan now, and Revan's still relative. In Grand Arena, he's still a great character for defense or offense, and there are still people that don't have him, so it could be worse.
Yeah. I mean, okay, not saying obsolete completely, all right? Let me back that off a little bit. If they're getting to the end of their meta-ness, their OP-ness, then you can look at my favorites, and they're probably there. And yes, Brevin did get me a nice little boost in my arena. I was going from, settling for that 500, 550 mark, and I'm now settling for the, upper 200s. So that was a nice little boost there. And in terms of where my shard's at and where I'm at, I probably should be proud of that, because, as we said before, don't spend any money, can't get to a certain level above that. And then when I'm still seeing peppered in Darth Revans and Maliks here or there, I feel pretty good about that. So, heck, I even saw them all the way back at 500s too. So that's a little different for my shard compared to some of these newer ones that probably haven't even seen them yet. I think there might have been a few other questions, or at least some comments I was going to go back to here. Yeah, Frank Lewis Allen, the credit crunch is real, indeed. Need some more of that. Almost as much as I need more coffee. I don't think I passed up anybody else down there. Already did thoughts on relics. Are we all excited for the rise of Skywalker?
Yay! Carbontes! Oh! Carbontes! Oh!
4 of them! Whoop, whoop.
And 200k credits. This is better than the credit heist.
Right? Darth Maul asked me to put Darth Revan and Malik in my favorites. Well, we were talking about this the other day, too, with Malik coming around. This is the third time he'd be coming around. Usually about that third time on a new OP character, that's when they decide that, okay, he's kind of run his course. Now there's going to be a new, big, ridiculous character we're going to be announcing. So
General Anakin.
Yeah. So definitely not going to be, tossed out of the running for sure. He's still going to be all over Grand Arena, and everybody's still going to want him all over the regular arena. But yeah, they're definitely going to be moving it back at least one more step. The Padmes, the Darth Revans are still going to be those second tiers, still top 3 teams, but new leaders going to come out, and of course there's going to be at least 2 or 3 characters you don't have for that new team. That's going to be the new meta. So got to get out and farm them. And who knows if they're going to be old characters or not? But we'll see what they do with that.
David Bone says it's going to be a gear reset. Sadly, he's 100. The problem is it's resetting it for a much more difficult second run. They're just gearing up lightsabers and shit. Excuse my language. Yep, that's for reals. That's hilarious, man. That is awesome.
And stuff.
And stuff.
The Zone wants to know if we will be playing the Jedi Fallen Order. If yes, will you be streaming?
Yes, I will be playing it. Very excited about it. Streaming remains to be seen. We will find out if that's a kind of streamable of. I don't know. I guess you could literally stream anything. I don't know how many people want to watch me do a mission mediocrely when they could do the mission probably better. So I don't know. I mean, it looks really cool. I will definitely play it. It's single player. I love single player games. I really do.
Yeah. Well, 95% of the people who do game reviews and walkthroughs on their YouTube channels are generally not very good players, I've come to find. I think most people are just there for that particular personality's commentary. So, depending on if we have something different to bring to the table, we might do something like that. So, something to think about in the future. Always looking for extra ideas there for keeping things more in the gaming vein of things. So, that'd be kind of fun. I actually haven't done something like that before. Look out, PewDiePie. No. Like big words there. Kind of like for a few back in my old guild when somebody was talking about my goal in joining this guild is to be better than Team Instinct. And I was like, well, good luck with that one, buddy.
Yeah, that's not going to happen. So anyway, Darth Sidious, I don't know if you noticed, you really can't stun him. He's pretty much immune to stun on this. In fact, he might actually be immune to stun. I've never been able to successfully get the stun on these higher levels, but you can stagger him. So that's turn meter reduction. So I like to put stagger on to begin with, and then I like to call him as much as I can to assist to get the daze, and I always attempt to get the stun. But I like that. Next time he gets hit, he loses all his turn meter, and you want to delay the inevitable, right? Because of that. The other thing is Jedi are going to miss him a lot because of that, which is super annoying. So I like to call to assist, actually, and try to apply the daze. And then we just keep applying the days. There we go. And really the big thing is if we can get him staggered. Let's see. Bam. Nope. I told you I just can't ever get it. Well, whiff. I knew it. My super attack. Yeah. And that's his special attack. So this is the deal. I can recover from this. I just have to basically hit this button over here on the top left. It's called select. And then in select, you're going to choose auto or basic. And you're going to go ahead and choose auto. And then you click on it. And then watch. Watch what happens. This is really cool. Watch what happens. You're going to survive. And you're going to make it through. Gear 8 Phoenix are amazing. No, he used it at the worst time. Yeah, the RNG does a really terrible job of playing their abilities, but that's okay. We're going to get through this. And then right as he's about to die, you'll go ahead and take that select off.
Good tip. You heard it here.
Yeah. Actually, yeah. And then this guy back here, if you're actually wanting real strategy, Death Trooper is like your bane, and so is this guy, Scout Trooper. He'll put target lock, which will prevent you from being able to gain stuff. So abilities and cleanse and turn meter and all sorts of stuff. So you want to kill these two guys first. Those are the only two that actually matter. Everyone else is easy to kill. There we go. Oh, no time. Oh, he wasn't even someone who could be missed. That's so stupid.
Wily stormtroopers.
Yep. All right, well, let's do this. Yeah, so the first and second one you can do this on. The third one, you can't. You can't really do. You have to like play it out, and I play it the third tier out over and over and over. Really, really good. His attack just kills everyone for me. Yeah, and you can't. And you can't do enough damage with the Gear 8 characters to make it worth. So anyway, yep, this was over. Nihilus at the end sometimes. Most of the time I get a 3-star and he doesn't kill anyone, but every once in a great while on full auto I'll lose one. But what's cool about Phoenix, they're super durable and you can get all these guys up to Gear 8 pretty easily. And then I stopped because they all needed stun guns. Yeah, they all needed stun guns. I'm like, you're not even a tank, dude. Why do you need a stun gun? So yeah, super stupid that they need such super terrible gear. I think it makes for a bad experience too when you're look at them targeting everybody. Hey guys, how do you eat an elephant? At one time.
One bite at a time.
Well, one bite would be right. They're just rando targeting.
One here and there.
Yeah.
Little ear, little hoof.
All right, let's try and do basics a little bit and reset because we can stagger Nihilus as well. And that, oh hello, shoot your gun in the air right in front of us. That's what you get for being arrogant.
Mm-hmm. You're gonna hit me anyways.
So watching someone struggle at something is the best part of YouTube. That's hilarious, Frank. The Zone says, sure shot, you guys excited for The Mandalorian? Are we, me and you, excited for The Mandalorian? I am. I think it's the greatest thing to happen since great things happening. I think it's going to be the best Star Wars. It's the best Star Wars, I think, since Rogue One, and probably going to be one of the all-time best. I also think they're going to do great with the Knights of the Old Republic trilogy.
Mm-hmm. Looking forward to that, especially for the directors that they have. The cast is good. I do like Pedro Pascal. I think he's going to be a good Mandalorian. The time frame in which it's put in is kind of cool because there's so much of that storyline that's never really been put into books so much as, or movies, so much as they talk about it in books and all the great legends and canon out there and all that. But to actually dig into some of this really good, gritty story that they just really shy away from on a regular basis because they want to try and hit that broader audience, I'm excited to see it on especially a show level too, because they can play around with it a bit more. I think they can do more with the story, and it seems like it's going to be pretty big budget too. So no complaints so far with that, and all the previews look good there. So as far as my comments on John Wick, definitely not going to be my same comments on The Mandalorian. I don't think they're going to be doing any 3 blasters or 3 phasers gun combos in that one, and not calling them by their names, so it should be all right there. And for the record, I think somebody was upset by these comments last time. I never said I didn't like the John Wick movies. I just said I had a lot of complaints about them. I did. I don't
know. I got the impression you didn't like John Wick. That's all I came away from. I was like, ignorant talk. I can't listen to this. Ignorant. He don't like the movie.
Blasphemy.
Blasphemy.
Nope, I do. I really like Keanu Reeves, especially too. But I just, I think when it comes to my brain not being able to turn off sometimes and just get into the movie magic and get into a story that makes no sense and doesn't have, good plot and doesn't really carry through and has a lot of plot holes, I can't really turn that off sometimes. So you will be seeing some when I do my channel. You will be seeing some movie reviews, so get ready for that. I will definitely try to be objective as far as that goes because subjective is just not the way to go with that kind of stuff. But I will throw my opinion in here and there, and when it comes right down to it, sometimes it's just hard to turn off the analytical brain. I wish I could do that more because then I think I would enjoy movies more. So
this event is kind of stupid, but I got Nihilus shards. I can't be mad about that. I got 5 cuffs. I can't be mad about that. And 200K credits. I can't be mad about that. I'm super excited. Honestly though, I'm not even going to try the 3rd tier right now. I know for a fact I've tried it many times. I go through perfect through step 1, 2, 3, and then on phase 4, he literally does his one shot. There was one time that I survived that with 2 characters and was able to kill him. Ezra survived and one other, and I was able to get through him. I was able to get through the rest of the tiers barely, and I got to the end and Nihilus just went whap, one shot right at the beginning. So there's no chance. Most of the time I lose, so I'm not going to try that bonus tier.
I just got done reading Jason USMC's comment. Okay, yeah, you can call them amazing. That's fine, but I didn't say anything about Oscar winners. I'm just looking for a little bit of cohesiveness when it comes to certain things. And again, I used to be a 3-gunner. I used to try to do the competitions. I have all the equipment for that. I thought it was just a little bit of a blatant why are you trying to plug this too? Especially with all the bad rap that guns get. Why try and glamorize it to make it seem like it's specifically for killing people when no, it's all just for shooting clays and silhouettes and steels, and it's not for you getting the training you need to go through and massacre 15, 30 people. That's just that I hate when they glamorize that aspect of it.
Except for it was a movie about assassins, so I'm glad they glamorized it because I was watching a movie about the glamorization of being an assassin, which for the record I'll never be, which is why I go to the movies to watch it, because I think it's kind of fun to watch. Call me terrible.
Nothing wrong with that. I guess it just comes down to the political side of things. People love to nitpick and be like, see, these movies are perpetuating a problem that we never thought about before. Thanks for bringing it to our attention, Keanu. No. You guys completely missed the point. That was make-believe. It's Hollywood. It's acting. It's not real. Not one person could go through with that many other people having guns and survive like that. It's cool to think about, but it wouldn't happen. Moving on. Not gonna pull this into a political debate, but there's my opinion. You can have it for what it's worth.
Whoa!
Because you know what? You come to watch, so therefore you asked for it. And here we go again.
I got 12 so far, dude. 12? Yes.
12.
3, 3, and 6.
Yeah, see, watching this would almost give somebody hope. But instead, when you go back to your own account and then, 3 shards.
Should I... So this is the deal, you guys. This is. I'm going to prove a point. I'm going to waste crystals to prove a point. This happens to me every time. So I'm going to try to use the RNGs that I get from this group of people, and I am going to buy another refresh. Now, the next refresh is 200, and I never do that. But I'm going to do that, and I'm going to get...
Just for you.
Yep, just for you. And I'm going to get skunked, all because... Whenever they know you're within 5, the drop rate drops to like 5%. I know it's pre-programmed in there like that, and everyone can tell me I'm full of crap and whatever, but I'm going to do it on this because if it happens, I can be excited with everybody and we can all be happy and we can promote him together.
Exactly.
And if it doesn't happen, I can say, see, I told you so, which is confirmation bias at its best.
Mm-hmm. At its absolute best. It's a win-win for you. You either get your 7-star or it proves your point. I love being proved right. It's great. Not that I go out seeking it all the time, but when it happens...
It's a high drop rate.
Confirmation bias at its best.
Confirmation bias. But you know what? I got him done. Yeah. Not a scam. Oh, that's hilarious. I don't have the credits. They're right. Oh, we got to go get credits. But that's okay. I'll earn the credits.
Yeah, just going to earn them all, one at a time.
I can't even believe that, dude. That's like a 65% drop rate for the last drop.
It was all pre-stored up for it. Or again, they're watching you.
Somebody's watching me.
Let's see here. A couple questions popped up. Oh, come on. That has nothing to do with what we're doing right now.
1.4 mil, man.
Oh! Wait, didn't you have some? Oh, you had 5s. That wasn't really a priority.
Because of the event.
Yep. No, I was going to say you were going to do 5s earlier, but that wasn't a real priority. 7-star. Eat that shoe. You know it only happened because it was on a live stream, because he talked it up, because Capital Games is watching. Anybody else would try to pull off that same feat, and they'd be sitting there going, that was a waste of 200 crystals. I got skunked. You know it would, too. Let's see here. Hebe Deatus, Jibe. Hi, do you think you can get Chewie with this bounty hunter team? Oh, okay. Django, Boba, Bane, Dengar, IG-88. IG-88 is possible. People have done it before, especially a 5-star you could probably pull off, but I wouldn't bank on IG-88 for the 7-star portion of the Chewie event because it's very squishy and won't stand up to the royal beating that you're going to get. Or it could just be there for good offense and he gets dropped off and you don't care about getting it 3 stars because either way you're still going to get the shards. So it is possible, not saying that it isn't, just going to have a harder time. Because if you pizza instead of French fry, you're going to have a bad time.
Who said hashtag I was wasting my ship's energy? Where was it? Oh, Seb. Seb says hashtag wasting ship energy. Did it for you, buddy. Yep. I got it taken care of for you, bud.
Streamer luck. Yes, I agree, Brian Briggs.
Wait. So that was 12 plus another 4.
Yeah.
I got 16 drops in one day. I did do 4 refreshes though. That's 4 per refresh. That's nuts.
400 crystals?
No, that was actually 500. 100, and then a 200. So
right,
500 crystals. That was a lot. I would never normally done that, but I just wanted to prove a point, which I got disproved, which is fine. Whatever. Whatevs. I got him 7-star. I'm happy.
Whatever. You did that on purpose. You knew you were going to get it. Because what do they do normally for the 16 shard ones? 1,280 crystals? So, I mean, really, that's a bargain. If they were ever to keep on landing that way for you.
No, premium characters are 360 for... I think it's like 360. Yeah, they're terrible. They're like 80 per shard.
Usually when it's like a 16 shard in the store, though, that's usually 1,280 crystals, right? Mm-hmm. Yeah, so. Wicked. Not for that particular character, obviously.
Wicked.
Wiki wall. Not going to go into the Wild West their song. I can't do it. Darth Mar, it will give all 3 when I record. It always has a good RNG. Yep, well, again, Darth Mar, you saw it here. Thanks for the help. We needed that one. RNGesus is paying attention, too. Frank Brown, guess I'm going to start live streaming. Any tips? Live stream for shards. You know what? I think really if you were to do it that way, nobody even have to be watching. If you were just live streaming, if you took the time to get the equipment, the camera, I mean, you could do it off your laptop, really. You don't need to get a bunch of stuff for it. And you were just a live stream just to out there, no audience, and do it that way, RNG would probably work for you even still because it doesn't know how many people are watching, really. I mean, that's sound logic there, maybe. So, yeah, try it out. Report back to us. Let us know what happens. We can sell all this equipment and just do it that way. Heck, I'll try it, too. Time again for Sure Shots live stream. Nobody's going to be here, but it's going to help my RNG.
He's like, hey, guys. How you doing?
Just little old Wicket. Jib. Yunaji. Is Scissorman still a completely free-to-play account? Someone in your last live stream mentioned the GBA pack missing. That pack can disappear for other people and doesn't always show up because of, whether or not you buy it doesn't mean that it disappears. So I don't know if that's actually a thing or not.
No, I have purchased one item on my free-to-play account, and it was actually by accident, and it was the GBA pack. And I know everyone's going to say, how is on accident? Well, I play with phones, and I play with both phones, and I often drink my coffee and play on both. And when that pack first came out, that pack, I was on my main account, and I was going to 7 stars, bought the pack, and went to buy and realized I didn't have the crystals. And I went, why don't I have the crystals? Looked and saw it was on my free-to-play account. I went, oh my God. So I sat that one down, super upset because I just spent $15 on that account. And then I moved over and I went to my main account and I proceeded to 7-star the GBA on the right accounts. So my free-to-play account has had $15 one time spent on it. I do still deem it as free-to-play. For anybody who is curious how I classify free-to-play dolphins, whales, krakens. Kraken is somebody who spends $1,000 a month or more consistently in the game. Someone who spends 100 to 1,000 every single time. That spends every single month. They're spending $100 to $1,000. They're a whale. Anyone that spends less than 100 a month is a dolphin. And then anyone that's made like a 1, 2, 3 one-time purchase, I can still consider them free to play. I always have. I've said that probably 1,000 times in the past. So there is a $15 purchase in my account. That did happen. I didn't hide that. I've gone into my account and played. You can still see all the other packs. Every time I'm in here, you get to see all the other packs that are available. I don't hide the packs. I like to go in there and show I haven't purchased those packs. So it's 99.9999999% free to play if you're going to be a purist, truist. Oh, he spent money. But it was actually a legit accident. I thought I was on my main account, bought, and then went to go purchase it to 7 stars and realized. And actually, to be fair, my geos on my free-to-play account look pretty damn good. They look about the way that they looked on my main account. My main account, I didn't have them all Gear 12 until Geo Brood Alpha came out, and then I finished off Gear 12 on all of them. So anyway, it did happen. $15 was spent on this account, but not a big deal. It's a one-time purchase. In my eyes, it doesn't change that this is a free-to-play account because 99.9% of all of my progress has been completely and utterly free to play, and I've shown the development and the growth and everything, and how you can do it through weekly and through daily upgrades. So, yeah, that was a bit of a frustrating day for me because I bought the pack twice when I should have only had to buy it once. And on my free-to-play account, you can see I have grounded out. How long has GBA been out? Almost 3 months, maybe 2 months, almost 3 months. If I wanted to spend on him, I would have not bought that stupid freaking pack. Well, I would have, but I would have continued. I would have continued along and bought the rest of the packs. I wouldn't have spent 3 months grinding or 2.5 months grinding a character that I planned on spending money on. So that was a bit of a kind of a sad moment for me in that, But the last time I was in here, farming last week, when you go into find, it shows you, all your pack opportunities. And so if the packs are gone, you know that they have spent money on the packs, and it was missing actually, but that's because it was accidentally purchased. So if your purist wants to say I'm not 100% free to play, I don't give a crap. They can do that. That's fine. Everybody else knows that this is all, a free to play account.
But $15 is not going to get you to this point. So
Not at all, but some people, that's their thing. They want to be like, "Ha ha! I caught him!" Yeah. But unfortunately, that's what I get with. I knew it was going to happen at some point over the last 6 months, because I do spend money, a few $100 a month on my main account. And so I knew it was bound to happen that eventually I was going to accidentally get caught up in the wrong account. Because I play them side by side while I drink my coffee in the morning. You've seen that. Actually, that's what happened 3 weeks ago why we played your account. Because I was playing both my accounts and didn't even remember I was going to stream it. And I was like, oh, crap, I did my accounts. I did all my stuff in all my accounts.
Nope, I got you.
Yeah. I was like, man, that stinks. But that's all right. All right. Did I get Jahani? I'm pretty sure I did.
Didn't see that going down, but yeah, I guess it happened.
Yep, I know. We were talking.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, and we did Karth already. So, it's Basti. She's a lesser priority because she's ahead of everybody. She's surprisingly been dropping better. So I've been kind of rotating whoever's behind as the priority. That's good. Purchase more for refreshes and
More than none.
Yep. And I refresh them because I really want a chance to get more. So now when I get more energy, ship's energy, and more regular energy throughout the day, I can do more of her node and more of Carthonassi's node. Both of them are bad.
God, no. Is there a story behind that? Where to go? Frank Allen, I believe, or Frank Lewis Allen said, Wicket eats brains. Maybe that's just
Dude, Ewoks eat. They're cannibalistically devious, man. They eat people. They were going to eat everyone except for freaking the goldenrod goddess guy. C-3PO was like, don't eat. They were going to eat freaking Luke and all them. You know what I'm saying? Like,
Yeah.
They were straight. They like flesh, man. They love their flesh.
That's true. I guess it just looks so cute and cuddly. I kind of blocked that part out of my brain from a young age. Watched the movies enough, never really went back around to it. Okay. But, I guess that's just, I'm desensitized. It's Walmart not taking their violent video game posters down early enough. That's why I'm just so warped in the head. So, The Zone, sure shot. How long did you save up for your beard? It was at Target on sale. Yeah, got it. It was a real nice gift. No, and between that and just looking in the mirror, concentrating really hard every day, just kind of squeezes out a little extra.
You want a beard? Sure.
Hey, there it is. Needless, I will say this, though. Some people are jealous. I'm actually jealous of the people who only have to shave once a week, especially at this point in my life, because razors and razor blade replacements are expensive. And when you dull a 5-blade razor in 3 to 4 shaves, yeah, suddenly growing a beard like this becomes a bit of a necessity because the touch-up areas still make a razor last like 10 shaves. It's ridiculous. So you want to know what it really feels like to rake a razor across wire? Yeah, you just step in my shoes for a minute. But yeah, no, it's nice. I like it. It's mine. I grew it myself. So, thanks, Seb. Thanks for not wasting ship energy. What's your main focus now?
On ships, or what's my main focus?
Main focus in general, or just on ships? He didn't specify.
Well, he'll clarify.
Yeah, clarify if you'd like to. Otherwise, never mind. They're bears. Let me just throw this logic at you here. Come on, logic H science. I guess it's not sticking. Never stuck before. I guess maybe it's the dialogue I never caught in that part or something, but obviously I knew that they were captured and they were getting ready. I just thought they were getting ready to sacrifice them or kill them or whatever. Obviously, like you would when you're a backward savage tribe, but somehow, C-3PO is saying that these are all gods and you can't eat them or whatever, however that went, just made them all change their ways. I don't know. But hey, as far as the game's concerned, they're light side, so I guess no cannibalism ever really struck their mind either. Otherwise, you'd see Wicket with like blood coming out of his mouth and looking all nasty with fangs and stuff, right? Come on. Gearmon's new fish, things changing fleet, their bears, message held for review. What? Yes, the zone said Razor equipment is expensive AF, but he didn't say the F part, but therefore it hid your comment, so I caught it for you. It happened. It was there. Hey, Robert Arnold, Diesel Rob, what's up? Force Canada's territory battle strategy worked. Record 13 stars. Woohoo! Actually, my guild got 15 stars this time around. That was pretty cool. And unfortunately, not from a lot of participation from me because I was so stinking busy.
How many stars did you get?
15.
Wow, we got 12, I think. 12 or 13. We only got the first two. That's pretty crazy.
Robert just came on to say you got 13.
Yeah, 13 stars. Yeah, it was a super good strategy. I was super proud of the leadership.
Mm-hmm. Well done, guys. Well done, all. Smoke 'em if you got 'em. Cheers all around. Michelangelo. This is a good name to pick, dude. I'm going to probably read your questions every time now just because I like saying it that way. Why are Mission and Zalbar in your favorites? And they are your next Gear 12s? Are they your next Gear 12s? Yes, they're going to eventually be his Gear 12s, and they are there specifically for his territory war and other aspects of needing the Old Republic team because they're just really good, especially on defense, too. I use them a lot.
Unfortunately, they marked my Revan, which almost never happens. They always mark Jolie or
I've been getting that a lot lately.
yeah, they always mark my Jolie, which is like guaranteed win, or they mark Basti, which is like a guaranteed win for me. Whenever they mark Revan or Yoda, it's there's a chance I'm going to lose.
So you're telling me there's a chance? More like 1 in a million. Mary, I desperately want to read this next question. eBay again, Jibe. Where do you spend your ship energy, and are you thinking at Shaak Ti? Is Shaak Ti a ship farm? Mm-hmm. Oh, yeah. I don't know. I guess are you going to be doing anything special with her, with that ship energy?
No, I'm actually going for ships and ship energy with extra ship energy. I've been spending it on the ETA 3 and then also the other Lando Millennium Falcon.
Ah, yes. With so many Millennium Falcons to choose from, which one is the best? Well, of course, the original, but, it's the hardest to get. Story of the game. Seb is specifying, what are you farming now? I've watched the old streams, so I'm still catching up. Well, he's shown his favorites a couple of times in here. Might go back to him again for you, depending on what kind of time we're working with here. But, yeah, actually probably should start thinking about story time here soon, too. Excuse me. So we might get back to that for you. Otherwise, we will post this. It'll be up, and you can go back for review later. Ben Parker, what's your opinion on them changing the fleet energy to the same cost and refresh rate as normal energy? I think it's the best update they've done in like 2 years. Oh, so they're actually going to go ahead and level that off to where it's same cost of energy across the board? That would be amazing. I would agree with that completely.
I don't know.
Don't know for sure on that one either, but hey, if they're doing it, thumbs up for everybody. That's a huge bonus. It's a nice plus because, yeah, Cantina Energy 100 crystal refreshes are ridiculous when you have a bottleneck of so many good characters in there that you need to farm for on a regular basis. So to bring that down to 350 crystal refreshes would be amazing. I would love that. Michelangelo, sure shot. Sorry if you answered this, but I'm a little late. Any update on if you're going to start a channel? If so, when? Well, along with the technical difficulties of this channel and the equipment that we've had recently, we talked about earlier of some of the equipment getting broken. I did get a set of lapel mics that we were going to be using today, but we tested them out the other night and made a really good go of it, tried to clean up the audio as best as possible, on top of the fact that they were not as advertised when I got them. The sound quality was tinny and terrible, and you guys would have hated us for it. So instead, we're passing the microphone back and forth again today. But went ahead and got those returned real quick, got a credit right away, and now I have another set that's going to be here tomorrow. So once we get that kink ironed out, once I get some more time on the editing portion of a YouTube channel. It is in the works. It is happening. I do have a studio set up now. I do have lighting. I do have a whiteboard where all my ideas are going up on, and getting more cohesive with that. Me and my roommate are working on that to make it happen. So it's going to be soon, but I'm not putting a timeline out there because I really can't set myself up for that kind of failure, because it's got that wedged in between so many other things going on right now that it's not as high of a priority, but it will happen. I'll just say that.
Awesome. Well, I think we're getting close to story time. You got to go. You've got something going on, so I know you got to bail here in a few, and we've already been streaming for over an hour, so we just need to kind of wrap it up. So we're going to do a story time. This actually is another UFC story from Storytime. Sometimes, so let's go. I'll put it in my favorites so people can look at favorites. Whoops, there's a donation. Let's do that. I always try to do my donates anytime I can. All right, there's my favorites. Yeah, Mission in Zalbarg, trying to go to Gear 12. Poggle's in there for the ship. Droideka's in there for the ship. Ewoks are in there for Ewoks. Galactic Republic, Anakin is in there for 7-starring, and the rest of Old Republic are there for Darth Revan. So, all right, let's go to the camcorder and let's raise this. There we go. Yeah, what? Now you guys can see us. And the story, yeah, this is a story that comes from my UFC days when I used to go and watch four fights a year minimum. And I already told the story about when I met Jeremy Stevens and some other fighters, and then I ended up getting kind of introduced into the world that is UFC. I was also a part of the UFC Fight Club, which was a early group of individuals that we'd get together at bars in Vegas, and we would meet fighters.
Are you allowed to talk about it though?
Yeah, you can talk about Fight Club. And so anyway, they would have these different bars, and we'd get together, and they were like formal events where the fighters would show up, and we'd like get to chat and socialize with them, buy them a drink, talk to them, get their autographs, take pictures. And that was fun, right? That was cool. You got to kind of, they were very humble, very down to earth. We would be on top at the bar at the Rio, which was a really nice bar. It's an outside bar on the, 30th floor, and you could see all of Vegas. Yeah. Something, 18 floors, whatever. I don't know. But anyway, it's the top of the Rio. Super nice. You can look out at the whole strip and stuff. It's off over a couple of blocks away. And so there was a bunch of different fun times we had there. But there was also a lot of informal experiences you could have where after the fighter would fight, they would go either with their crew or whatnot to a local bar to kind of relax after the fight and just kind of, have some, relaxation time. And you could go to those bars, and if you were lucky, you might be able to kind of see them from afar, and maybe they would go to the bathroom, and you could hijack a conversation while they're walking to the bathroom, yeah, dude, I'm a fan, blah, 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 so I know all your fights, blah, blah, I'm totally a stalker. And they'd be like, meh. But if you could get into their VIP section, they actually would let their guard down and actually want to talk to you, because they're like, well, he's in VIP, so there's a reason. So, they would just be normal. And there's a reason why they build VIP. It's kind of for... It's kind of for their protection and things like that. Well, anyway, there was a number of times I was able to get into VIP for different reasons. One of the times was an individual found out that I had been in BUDS, Basic Underwater Demolition SEALs, Navy SEALs training, and that they had actually seen when I pulled out my ID. Went to get in, they saw my ID, and they saw that I had my SEAL ID in my wallet, and it's actually just the BUDS compound ID. There's a specific sticker you got to have on your military ID to get in to the compound, and I had that, and they let me in for free and actually gave me VIP treatment for that. So that was kind of cool. But another time, you kind of have to use your wits, right? You got to be smart, you got to be coy, and sometimes you just have to be an opportunist. And there was a time when Dan Henderson had a fight. He ended up losing that fight. And side note, Dan Henderson stinks. Not stinks as a fighter, but physically stinks. I hung out with the guy all night long, and the guy did not shower after his fight. It was horrible. It was absolutely horrible. I was like, this bad decision. I should not have hung out with this dude. But what do you know? Dan Henderson's a great fighter. He was kind of a little bit over his era, but he was still fighting and still trying to, compete. And he did lose his battle, but his whole crew went to this bar, and I can't remember which bar it was, but it was inside of the Mandalay Bay. It was one of the bars inside of the Mandalay Bay. I'm trying to remember what's the name, but anyway, so he goes to the bar, and And actually, I think he walked over from Mandalay Bay to Luxor, and it was in Luxor's Bay. I can't remember. Anyway, doesn't really matter. I went to the bar. I beat them there, and I was like, I want to, hang out with him, to chat with him, give him kind of props for the good fight and stuff, and couldn't get into VIP. And so we got in, and we were hanging out, and I see him and his entire entourage show up. Dan Henderson had a huge entourage, and there's a huge line of them, right? Well, anyway, they come in, and the admin and everybody from the bar come up and say, hey, we know who this is, and this is a special thing and all this. And so I see them and I see an opportunity in my head. I don't know. I'm a fast thinking opportunist. And so I'm like, whoa, yeah. I'm like, I'm going to figure something out. So I'm sitting there and I'm like, I'm on a post. So imagine this door as like just a post holding up the roof, right? It's like a big tall post that's holding up the roof. And I'm just like this. Just kind of chilling on it, right? Hanging. And think about this as like a hallway, right? That, hey, they have to walk past the section or whatever. Actually, we'll use this side since you're over there. So this is like a hallway, and they're going to walk past the post, right past me. And so I saw them coming, and I thought, you know what I'm going to do? There's no one in the arrears. There's no one in the arrears. There's no one behind them to know how big the group is. Like, it's just a large freaking snake of a group, and they're all walking together. I am going to wait, and when they pass me, I'm going to hop in behind them, and I just keep walking with them into VIP, and the people at VIP can't even see us yet because the snake was too long of people, so they won't know whether I'm with them or not. And I mean, look at me. I look like I'm part of his crew. No, I mean, for real though, I was in way better shape back then. And I think I was like, I'm going to blend in. This is going to work. So, I'm chilling. And here they come. Doop, 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 and here's me. And I just went right behind him, and I just got behind the guy in front of me, and I just kind of, walking, and I was just like, Lord, don't let them look backwards. Because if they look backwards, they're going to know, who's this joker following Dan Henderson's group? And so we walk into VIP, and the guy holding the ropes had just assumed I was with him. And so here I go into VIP, and there was 4 large booths inside of VIP, and Dan Henderson had the last one in VIP. I didn't know this until we started walking in, and it's kind of takes a while because you have to walk past 4 rooms. Each room was a VIP section, and they were open rooms. Like, they had 3 walls and an opening to the dance floor. And we walked past the first room, and there was people in there, and they're like, hey, and I was like, hey. And then I look down, and I see Dan Henderson hit his room, because this is a long train, right, of people, and he hits it, and he turns around, and they start talking as people start going into that room. They start talking and socializing, and they're looking around, and they're like looking down the hallway towards us that were coming down in the train to see, like, is all of his homeboys with him? And he looks at me, and I can tell Dan is confused as to, like, who's this guy? And instantly I'm like, when I get to the end, I have to go into his room with him. Like, he's going to say, who are you? Right. And so I'm like, I have to do something fast. I'm a fast thinker. And in that moment, I'm like, I'm going to go into the room next door because they will think that I came in because of them. And so Dan will dismiss me as a neighbor of the, VIP section. And the people next door will think I'm with Dan Henderson because I'm like walking with Dan Henderson's group. So here I'm like, whoop, and I went right into it. I was like, what's up? And he's like, oh man, you with Henderson? I'm like, yeah, dude. And he's like, oh, cool. So I start gabbing with the people in the next VIP booth. And Dan Henderson looked at me and realized I was with them. And he just kind of, just turned away and just shrugged it off and kept doing his thing. And then now I'm in VIP, right? Well, I've got my wife, my best friend, and his really close girlfriend, not a girlfriend, but a girl who was a friend. And so there's 3 of them, and they're looking at me like, you bastard. Like, this worked. Like, I can't believe you got in and this actually worked, because I told him I was going to do it, and my wife was like, don't do that. That's a bad idea. Abort. And I was just like, leave me alone. Don't talk to me. Like, ignore me.
I got to run with this.
Yeah, I got to run with this. Sorry. And so I get in there, and I start talking, and then these guys from corporate, like from the bar, come into VIP and walk into Dan Henderson's area and start asking people, who needs the VIP bracelets? I need to give these out really quick while you guys are here. And I went like this because I nudged him because he was trying to talk to the group, and everyone in Dan Henderson's group were about a bit rowdy and kind of talking and being loud. No, I tapped him. I go, hey man, I can pass some of those out. If you give me a 4, I'll make sure 4 of the people get them. And he's like, sure, no problem. He hands me 4 VIP passes, and then which were like wristbands. And then he turned around. He's like, hey, who else needs wristbands? And he started passing them out to their group. Totally thought I was with the group or whatever, had no idea. I put mine on immediately so I could get in and out freely. And then I went out and proceeded to give one to my wife, one to my best friend, and one to the girl who was a friend. And we had VIP experience that whole night, all because of an opportunity of me. And I'm not saying do this, you guys, or whatever, and I don't even know if you could get away with this stuff now, because I mean,
it might be better about that.
Yeah, I don't know. I'm a bit like that. I'm a quick thinker and I'm an opportunist. When I see an opportunity, I grab it. So yeah, it was fun, but it was a really good night. Like I said, the only thing I learned from that night, because he was super busy, he was way into a bunch of girls and wasn't going to talk to anybody else, was I learned that, man, that guy does not shower after fighting because he was stinky. I was like, oh my gosh. I was like, wow, man. I don't mean to be derogatory about him though, but it was fun. Anyway, that was a fun time. That was one of my many bar experiences when I was younger. I was in my early 20s. My wife and I had, just gotten married, and I really was into UFC. I was really into MMA, mixed martial arts. I was really into training personally myself. I loved watching all the fighters, and I got to meet, hundreds of fighters in those times, but there was just moments in time where you have to kind of take advantage of that moment or lose it forever. And I had those thoughts, and I was like, I'm going to do it. And so I did it. And so that's what it is, and is what it is. But anyway, yeah. Hey, Robert Arnold, Desirob asks, hey, is that how you got into Force Canada? Something like that. He's my guild leader. Something like that.
Followed somebody in.
Fort Leg asked, have I ever done any MMA, Warrior? And I trained MMA a lot, but I never actually did professional fighting, never once, because when I was in the height of that, I was a law enforcement officer, and I got to do MMA informally all the time with calls for service. Probably one of the, well, that's another story time, yo. That's another story time. Remind me of a time when I got in a fight as a cop, and I can tell you a fun story on that. So anyway, I appreciate you guys all coming and hanging out, and give Sure Shot a chance to say his goodbyes, and then we'll get out of here.
I can't say that I haven't done something similar that myself. I've snuck into places, done things that I probably shouldn't have. It was a little bit sneaky and backhanded. If I would have been caught, somebody probably would have been like, okay, that's smooth. I would have let you stay in. But that reminds me of my boxing stories and my attempt at MMA as well. So all for a future time. But anyways, thanks for having me. This was Sure Shot.
And this is Warrior, and I appreciate you guys coming on board. Make sure to keep your gaming on. Warrior and Sure Shot out.